Young Reporters Disclaimer. Before we get started, a quick note. The views and opinions you'll hear on the Young Reporters are just those of the producers, our guests, and our friends, and don't represent the policies or official views of the Orin Edson Entrepreneurship plus Innovation Institute. And remember, the Young Reporters podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
Matchmaker Communications 101, in collaboration with Arizona State University's Edson Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute, presents The Young Reporters. The Young Reporters chase down ordinary people doing amazing things in the greater Phoenix community and beyond. These inner-city young journalists take their classroom on the air, a class about ethics, commitment, loyalty, and teamwork. When you're on the Young Reporters, be prepared to talk about things you never expected. And now, let's go into the classroom.
We are so excited to be back in the classroom at ASU Sky Song. What a group. We've got the same group from last week's podcast back together again. A couple of quick opening. We're doing a team opening today. I'm Bob Fishman. Kim Reynolds with me. I've got Kelly Randall with us. And so we're doing a team opening. I want to make one comment about the way our last show ended. It was a lot of fun. A lot about the music, a lot about a whole bunch of different things, but everything we do sort of has a purpose to it. That opening theme song that we use, there's a wonderful singer named Tina Malia, who I only experienced one time at the listening to her concert at the ASU Care Cultural Center, which a fabulous venue. I think it's still up and running. I hope, because it's a great place. Up in the Scottsdale Resort area, right around Rose Street and Scottsdale Road. Tina Malia performed there, and this is her song, and I think it's called Heal This Land. And it's about the fires are burning, and so it's like I was saying, we had a meeting earlier today, and talking about the concept of move fast, and as opposed to move fast and break things. We're all about moving fast and fixing things. And that's whether it's ASU Edson Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute, whether it's Kelly Randall and what she does with her husband Travis and their various businesses that cover Hollywood and beyond, and Paula Hartley in terms of her new second annual coming up dance gala, Chris Volchek and his passion for serving the community in multiple ways, kids, veterans, homeless, Ellen Ripa and all his music ventures. Everything is done with a passion and done to sort of, we're not about causing damage to people's lives. Too much of that has been sort of a laughing theme for too many Silicon Valley entrepreneurial people and I get it, because I was a kid too at one point, where you think it's funny when you just make jokes at people's expense. But boy, when you're an adult and you take joy in putting people out of work, that's not a good thing at that point. There's something wrong in that. But we're about fixing the world and fixing problems. And so Kim and Kelly, join in with the Young Reporters. We're back for our second podcast of this version. And so we had fun last show, didn't we?
We did. And just to lead off of what you were saying in the beginning, Bob, is what you're talking about is this scarcity mindset, where the only way to get ahead in the world is to step on other people and beat them down, because you look at the world as being limited. Well, wealth is created. Wealth is not limited. Wealth is created. We're constantly, creating new things, pulling things out. Now we got these Bitcoin things. Wealth is created, and it is made by helping people up and having an abundance and a growth mindset instead of a fixed and a scarcity mindset. So and that's really, I think, what everybody in this room has, is it's like, how do we make the world a better place by pulling people up with us? We don't have to get ahead ourselves by stepping on other people. And I think that's a very powerful concept.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, today's world, there is too much of that. I mean, build, it took a village to raise a child. What happened to that concept? I mean, that's kind of what we're about here. We want to bring opportunity to all those we come across.
And you
That's
guys,
our
the
matchmaking.
education, what you've done for your life, all you, Kim and Kelly in particular, have spent their lives in the schools and the classrooms, and we're always entrepreneurs, but they always were entrepreneurial in their teaching, I guess, right? In the classroom and being a principal. And so you're just an expanded version of your normal self, growing the kids up, I guess.
Well, I think any job, any experience you have, you're kind of a culmination of all those experiences. As even if I was a principal, the entrepreneur in me, my last school I was at, I brought 7 vocational programs into the school because I saw the value in that, and working with at-risk kids. The value of a vocational education is, infinite. So I saw a need there, and I was able to bring in 7 vocational programs into my high school at no charge to my school, which is almost unheard of.
That's very entrepreneurial right there.
Right. As Kim works with students now. We used to work at the same high school. Now Kim is at ASU and E+I. Did I say it right?
Edson E+I.
And working with students again, bringing them up, showing them how to be innovators and entrepreneurs. Chris, you have a very unique experience that started with a dentist that drank whiskey next to you while cleaning your teeth, I believe.
I love that experience.
Paola.
You got to wonder what he thought was cool as a kid.
I remember the first time I met him back at the radio station hearing that story, and it's still funny today. But then Paola, a very...
And their vocation as well. And I have to proudly say this because I don't think it was very well known that what I did, the Arizona Grand Gala of Stars, was a historic event, not only in Arizona, but in the nation. Something amazing. Of what I've done has never been done before. Gala performances where international stars come to perform are very common. Gala performances where international stars come to perform and there is a school involved is not uncommon. But having more than 12 studios and 26 students working together to perform in one gala to celebrate, that has never been done. And that I can say I'm very proud of because I did my research and it's never been done. So
that's amazing.
I'm very happy about because I wanted to do, I really, and one thing that I want to mention that really affected these students besides the opportunity to dance alongside their idols was that they came up to me, not only thanking me for that, but they said, we just made new friends. They said, we would have never met these other students had it not been for this opportunity. And that to me was just everything.
You're describing everything we're trying to do. One of the biggest thrills I've had in roughly 25 years of matchmaking and the 18 years, whatever, of teaching kids and doing the radio shows with the kids. One of the most of you remember this little girl. Ellen really remembers her. Her name was Andrea, and she came up to me one day at the Sage classroom, and she says, "Mr. Bob, before the radio club, that's what she called it. Before the radio club, the sun never shined." She says, "Since the radio club, the sun shines every day." Oh. And it's just like, oh my God. We get fed. We do what we do because we get fed when we see somebody rise up. The idea that, like you said, competition and scarcity, it's so much fun to lift somebody up. What Chris is doing with homeless populations, whatever, it's so we get so much reward beyond anything financial. The rewards are unbelievable.
And on a personal note, I am so thankful for you, Bob. I really am. I'm very grateful because there are many principal dancers out there. So yes, there are a few of us that get to the top, right? But I wasn't the only principal dancer at Ballet Arizona.
I remember.
But yet you always would invite me to your breakfasts. You always had me at your radio stations. There's something that you saw in me, and I really appreciate that because it also propelled me to go, what else can I do besides just being a ballet dancer and a teacher? And so thank you. I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for...
a huge compliment.
So I really appreciate your belief in me. And I don't know, the fact that you just always wanted me being a part of all these great things that you do.
Paula, again, there's back and forth. It's like, you make my world better. Everybody that honors us with their presence it enriches my life, and we move the world forward. What would you say? Failing forward. Whether we're failing or succeeding, we're moving forward. And I know, Kim, you had something you wanted to go with Chris about from the last show. I don't even know if you remember at this point, but Paula, what you said to me is very meaningful, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Actually, I wanted to move on where we finished out the last show.
Okay.
We were talking to Alan.
Okay.
And it brings back to that whole theme that I see. We were talking about social entrepreneurship a lot, but then we were also talking about innovation. Everyone in this room saw a need and came up with a solution. Chris saw that the homeless population did not have dental care. Paola saw that there had never been this unification of multiple dance studios coming together. Kelly's business, Kelly, when she was a principal, she saw that need for the vocational training, and Alan was talking about how he would try and do something, and he's like, well, I need to learn how to do this and do it. It's all an innovation mindset. So Alan, go ahead and finish off what you were talking about on the last show.
Well, it was just out of curiosity. I was very curious on different tasks, and for about a month ago or 2 months ago, I had an interesting week where it was all packed with. I had to paint an airplane. I then had
A
to
full-size airplane or like model airplane?
No, it was a 201 Mooney. And out at Falcon Field. Anyway, I painted.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I painted this airplane, and then I had to do a commercial for this stone company up in North Scottsdale, and then I had to put in a pump filter system into a gas tank for a car. So that's what I'm saying, is that I've got multitasker and different things, and I've been told I'm very handy to have around.
But that's that innovation mindset that drove you to, during COVID, bring all of those different musicians together that were stuck at home to create this beautiful music.
I think I worked, it turned out to where I worked with about 50 musicians.
Wow.
And so it was, like I said, just the most amazing experience. And when I look back, I was able to do that because of COVID. Everybody was
So
stuck.
turning a bad situation into a good one. I mean, that's life again, isn't it? That's failing forward kind of. COVID was a tough time, but somehow we get through it, and we're going to get to more on this podcast here at ASU Sky Song. We are the older version of Young Reporters. Stay with us. We'll be right back for our next segment.
Welcome back. This is Young Reporters coming back into our next segment, and I am Paola Hartley, one of the guests here. Very happy to be here with everyone, and I want to go to Chris because Chris wanted to have a comment on Alan. How we finished our last segment.
So, you being so handy in multiple areas, I mean, you'd like be the perfect husband. I mean, really. I mean, women must. Because you are so doggone handy. I'm like a one-trick, maybe a two-trick pony. That's all I got. I mean, painting planes, making music. Oh my God!
Selling luxury real estate.
No.
Pilot, Academy Award winner.
No, I know.
Videographer. It's amazing.
I mean, really, I don't mean to go on about that, but really kind of a really broad Renaissance guy.
Yeah, Alan was also one of the first people to use drones in the real estate business, and Kim's very much into drones, so you're describing it really well, Chris.
Yeah, no, that's all I had to say. Just an impressive area that you're an entrepreneur in.
It's I don't know, something that I set out to do. It's just that I'm put in a situation, and I have to make a choice if I try it myself first and see how far I get, or just call in the regular guy that does it. And what it turned out to be, like when I got into real estate, I started fixing homes to make side money, and I was fixing them better than the contractors. So they saw that. So then I started getting calls to go fix the contractors' work. And it just kept growing and growing. And pretty soon I told them I got to stop because I was really wanting to do real estate, not fix homes. And I think back about it, that would have been a whole business that I could have grown, and it would have been handy to do. But that's hindsight. But at the time, it just was like somebody said they had a roof leak. So it's like, well, I go look at it. And then I go up on top of the roof and I go, well, what's going on here? You know, what is this roof? And I go talk to a roofer, and then I go fix the roof. Mm-hmm. So it was one thing after another. And if you don't try, you don't know where your capabilities will take you. So now at this point, there's I do custom photography, animation. It's just all kinds of things.
When do you guys get a chance to see? I've seen it. It's about to go public. When you get a chance to see the work he does on the podcast, I mean, he treated it. I mean, it was funny. We had a lot of conversation about it. Alan treated this thing as if he was producing an album of his own music.
Not really.
Well, yeah, in terms of, I'll put it this way, Alan is a pro. He's a real pro. He's probably a perfectionist, but what Alan thinks is basic is really interesting. It's really good.
Doing this podcast, this Young Reporters, even back when we were at that KFNX, that was with KFNX 1100, Bob Fishman, and when we were doing that show, I kept having a vision of this conversation that was happening around a table, and that's where I thought, well, I'm going to bring a camera and capture this.
You did.
And so that was the start. And then when I looked at it, it was like, wow, I want to put it out there, see if it goes beyond, the table, the conversation, if anybody's interested. And sure enough, I did the testing, and there's a lot of people that were interested in what we were doing. And then I started thinking, it's like, well, if I did that camera, if I do in post, if I put a monitor in the back of the room, I could put up on that what the people are talking about and then reference that on the monitor. So that was the next step. But
this is years ago. This is years ago. Yeah, many years ago.
Right. And that's when I came up with, maybe I should think about this radio show as like, you see our radio show. So then I came up with a website, the letter C, R, and then radioshow.com. And that's exactly what the vision was to taking this to...
So Alan's talking about vision here, okay? And by the way, I want to thank the combination of Kelly and Kim. First of all, they were friends. Kelly is a hard-driving, wonderful, warm personality, but she's a visionary. She's got a friend who's a visionary, Kim. Kelly, all of a sudden out of the blue, Kelly, I said, we're going to fade away. We're about to fade away. I said, I really don't want this thing to die, with the kids especially. And Kelly says, well, I'm going to think about it. And about a month later, she texts me or calls me. She says, Bob, you're going to love me. And and so maybe a week after that, she says, you're going to love me more. And that was our first appointment to meet with her friend Kim, which got this, and this was just a few months ago, and we were basically going to fade away, and then all of a sudden now we have a pretty interesting, bright potential future here, and it's thanks to this combination of visionaries. Everybody in the studio is visionary. And by the way, Paula, your vision, you took just what Alan was describing about, how he's sitting in the radio studio and seeing something more. He's seeing where this could go. You were seeing something more where you could go. Chris, you somehow or other, you knew that and I don't know if they came to you, came to them, finding the manufacturers to supply you the equipment to do that kind of business relationship. How did that happen for you? How did that come to your vision, or how did that get started?
That was simply out of desperation. I had no way to get the equipment. Dental equipment's exceptionally expensive. That was simply desperate. I just spoke to one CEO that I happened to know through a friend, and then I started hitting up all the CEOs across the nation.
So linking linking like crazy,
yeah, and
right?
they connected me to the
matchmaking like crazy. Matchmaking on steroids.
Matchmaking.
I want to just say,
Say it again.
The Power of Who. Have you heard of that book, The Power of Who?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's who you know.
It is
and how you can relate to that, and how the other person can introduce you to and create that network. Yeah.
I just want to a quick comment in that regards to this show and putting it out online. In 2015, I went to an open mic and I saw this talent that was playing, and they were really good. And so I thought, I wonder, I do video of this open mic and put it online. Well, I started doing it. I did that for about a year and a half, did over 100 videos of performers. And those performers were then using those videos to show potential restaurants, bars, whatever, of their performance, and they were getting jobs from those videos I was doing. And then those videos ended up being watched in over 110 countries.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
Out of this little wine place in Scottsdale. It's called Terroir, and it was Wednesday night. They had open mic, and that little place then got seen in 110 countries. It's the most amazing, organic thing that happened.
Great word.
Yeah, and the performers, see, goosebumps.
Kim, I want to ask you a quick question related to this. Okay, all this stuff is happening, is bubbling and circulating. How does what you do with the Edson Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute?
Nailed it.
I've learned it pretty well.
It's a mouthful.
You take it is getting it in the opening. It takes it. Got to slow down. How do you convert everything you're hearing here? You do that within everything you do, apparently. So when you're talking to the people that you're looking for, the people that come in and become the judges at the competition, the people who become the mentors, how do you do what Chris was just talking about, what Paula's, how do you do that on a daily basis? How do you make those dots connect? You're moving fast probably, right? We got about a minute here, maybe a minute and a half.
So it's interesting that you ask, and I always tell everybody, if you've ever watched Iron Man and you see how Tony Stark takes and he throws everything up and it's all in space and everything is connected. That's how my brain works. That's how it looks. Yeah. So I would see Alan over here and I would see Kelly over here. And I remember what I heard there and what I heard there. I'm like, and I start connecting the dots. And that's literally how it works. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I know somebody who knew a thing, who knows somebody, and bringing them together and making those connections, or remembering bits and pieces of conversations. So it's what you talk about with the whole, you call it matchmaking, most people call it networking, but it really is that whole who you know is so important. But not only who you know, because I came from financial industry before I became an educator, and in finance, you hold everything close to the chest and you don't share. Mm-hmm. It's very much that that scarcity mindset and a fixed mindset. And I didn't want to be like that. So it was, if I knew Kelly could do something for Chris, I'm not going to try and hoard my relationship with Kelly. I'm going to connect her to Chris because I'm interested in a bigger outcome.
This is what we have to keep defining, because what you're doing is very complicated. Chandra said it. If a guy from Medtronic says what you're doing is very complicated and very hard, I think it probably is, and it's magnificent what you do. We have to go to one more break here. We are the Young Reporters. Stick with us. We got more conversation, and we love doing this, and we love you guys listening to us.
Welcome back to the Young Reporters. It's been awesome show so far, and it only gets better from here. Today in the studio, we have Alan, we have Bob, we have Kim, and we're going to take it right back to you, where we left off. And Chris. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to say his name. I'm looking at him. I just and we're going to go back to Chris. Chris, bring us
No, I'm taking it right back to Kim.
Okay, good. There we go. Right there, Kim.
So, in our last episode, you actually were talking about how Chandra said that I have a difficult job with the work that we're doing with K-12 youth and innovation. And it's true, but it's not. Innovation is built into who we are as human beings. We're created to create. And what happens is somewhere between a kindergartner who thinks they can fly and high school and college is somehow that creativity gets beat out of them.
Actually, Kim, I was thinking along the same lines as that. Now in today's age, we have a wealth of information in our hand. Everybody has a phone. You can look up the answer to everything. And as a previous educator, teacher, principal, I always noticed students would be like, they wouldn't look up information for themselves. They just wanted to be told, how do you do it? Which in my head, I'm going, you've got more information at your hands than I ever did as a kid. But kids nowadays don't utilize that right.
They don't.
And on the opposite side of that, I think because they have these things in their hand, they're also not is socially interactive. For example, we grew up and they'd say, go play outside and come home when the streetlights are on. So we'd go build a fort in the woods. Well, that was problem solving. We'd figure it out. I found 2 boards. What do you got at your house? Bring that with you. And we'll try to make a teepee, and sometimes it fell on you. And that was the failure. And moving forward was success. Kids don't have that. They're in front of video games. They're in front of the TV. They don't get out there and problem solve. I remember my son, I'm actually going to speak very well about him. He bought his first car on his own. He went on YouTube and learned how to rebuild an entire car on YouTube. Wow. That is more than most kids get out of their going to high school. I hate to say it. Yeah. But that whole creativity you were talking about, that's what is missing, I think, in now kids. And I think that's what we bring to the table is pushing kids to think for themselves, especially think for yourself. If you don't know the answer, how do you do that? What's the answer? Someone tell me. They don't look themselves, and that's what we really need out of youth today is to start thinking for themselves. That's why Alan has so many talents because, like he said, he's curious. How do you do it? I'll figure it out myself. Chris, that's how you've pulled it. That's where
I like Chris's answer about desperation, too, because it comes from all sorts of different directions.
Yep.
It might come from pure creativity, or it might come from you got nowhere to go except desperate. And so I was kind of desperate until Kelly makes the call to Kim. In fact, I think I'd given up about 5 years. Well, we're dead now. We're off, COVID and whatever. It's not likely that we're going to get revived. And all it took was one creative person. And I have a question. How did you know that call was going to be? How did you figure that out? That call was going to be to Kim.
Well, I've known Kim a long time. We've worked together.
Best principal ever.
Thank you very much.
Is she the one that deserted you?
No.
She is.
Oh, yeah.
She totally deserted me.
You mentioned that in the last video.
Yeah.
I remember that comment.
Yeah, we've only watched it a few times, right?
Yeah. I've got a little time in that.
So how did you decide that was the direction you wanted to try?
Well, a little bit of history. So I left somewhere along the ways. Kim became an employee here at ASU E+I. I'm not going to try to say that whole long thing. E+I. And she called me and she said, "You are the best principal ever. And now I work at ASU and there's this job opening here. We need a director of our program." And she goes, "I think you'd be perfect." So I ended up interviewing for a position here within Kim's program. Now, in the end, I did not get that position, which everything worked out for the best.
When was that? When was that?
That
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Okay.
That's when I had left my last school. Just about the same time, left my last school, interviewed for the job, and was really upset I didn't get it, but it all worked out in the best. Again, that failure led to me running my husband's company now, because had I ended up getting that job. Things
You would have
be-
abandoned me again.
I would have abandoned her again.
You were with your husband at the time, though, but you weren't in
No, I was with them at the time. We weren't
Okay.
married yet. We were still dating.
Okay.
So I was interviewing with Kim, and thank goodness I didn't get that job because who knew the future held that? We got married. I now run the company, and all is well. And she's got a great person that took the position named Heidi, who is wonderful at what she does. Kim speaks very highly of her.
She was great in the meeting we had.
She's
I
amazing.
really enjoyed Heidi. I really enjoyed that meeting. So what
Made the phone call? I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
went way around that question.
That's
didn't
all
I?
right.
Let me circle back. Knowing what Kim did, Kim and I have remained friends and in contact, and knowing what the organization did here at ASU and Sky Song, you called me and said, the young reporters, I think it's dead in the water. I don't know where to go with it now. And like you said earlier, I kind of rolled it around. I said, gosh, Kim works with the exact type of, and she was, works in that beautiful building Sky Song at ASU. And wait, they've got a bunch of, all of a sudden things just, when you're right. Things just all fell into place very naturally from
And Kelly
that.
and I, we'd had this conversation for years that because she picked up right away once she came on in the studio and saw the kids. There was no hesitation. I think even when it's described, it's like you when we had the first meeting. You didn't need. I sent videos. I don't think you ever. I don't even know if you watched them, but you just got the concept. You're dot connected. You got it right away. I mean, that's very rare. Kelly got it the same way when the first time it was described to her, and then she came in the studio, and so I always knew we'd had the conversation that she's gonna. My end of the line comes one day. Kelly's gonna take it over. That's gonna be the continuity. That's always been the plan. The problem was there wasn't gonna be any future, but she made that call, and because of
Now
that,
the future looks so bright.
But that's how innovation and problem solving.
Yes, and I am so pleased because I was sure it was dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
just from
We had
interacting
meetings.
with you,
Chris,
I
you
was-
and I had meetings.
Meetings and
We had
meetings, and I
meetings,
thought
and
this
Chris,
is
Chris has kept me alive, spirit-wise. Chris was one of a few people. I think I'd see Alan occasionally. I think Kelly, I would see just a few people, and I had my own issues at different times. But Chris is such an honest person, honest friend, and we pick each other up. And yeah, he knew that I was fading away to some extent. I was getting my fun out of hanging out with the visionary people, but my visionary thing was going away.
Well, can I? There might be something else bigger than that happened because in the McCormick Ranch, where I'm the mayor of the walkway.
Walkway, yes.
After
The mayor, Mr. Mayor.
I'm serious.
I believe you. I am not. I am laughing because I believe you.
He has 150 people following him around.
Yeah, and I have a happy hour.
And a
once
happy hour
a
at the
month.
end of the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's other things I
True
do.
story.
I want to join that.
So after the walk, I go to the coffee shop where I have constituents now as well, and so we chat.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's the constituent versus what do you?
You see this group? I'm trying to be serious, and they don't. Anyway, so I was chatting with this group, and we discussed various things. This is last October. While we're sitting there, somebody comes in and sits down in our circle, and I call it's Wayne's World. My buddy there is Wayne, and anyway, so this guy sits in there and he starts working on his little iPad or whatever he had, and so after a few minutes, he turns around and he says, you guys, you got really interesting conversations. You should do a podcast." Wow. And I said, "Oh, a podcast. Interesting. I've got the equipment, but it's just, old school, so it's too big. I wonder what they have now." So I went online and I saw all this equipment, and it was like, well, that's mobile. This thing right here is like this whole table of my old school stuff. Wow. That's what this does.
Wow.
So
Size
it
of
makes
a laptop, yep.
So when I saw that, it was like, whoa, I can do this. So I saw him the next day. I said, I bought all the equipment and we're going to do a podcast here next week. I've never seen the guy since. It's like he came in,
amazing.
gave me the idea,
That's amazing.
and that's how we're here today.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing. It's like the universe kind of put these people in place to give me to go look for this, because I didn't know this existed, really.
Wow.
I call that
So-
divine intervention.
That's how we got
I
here.
totally get that.
So it's, to me, it's funny. We're here talking, and I keep visualizing we're like in the radio station.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, Chris, we have to make sure that whatever issues are popping up in your role because of the larger society, we'll get whatever it takes to make the good work you're doing, to make that keep going and take headaches away. That's what we want to do. So if you have directions to point us in that help, let us know. Okay, so that's what we want to do for anybody. This team is a growing team, and people are on the team whether they want to be or not.
So, Bob,
Wait, he's got a part on the team.
He's got a big part of the team.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm going to practice. I'm going to practice.
You got one more thing to say before the break, or you want to hold it? I think we got a break coming up right now, so hold your thought, okay? Hold your thought, because we are about to go to our exit from this segment. We are the older version of the Young Reporters. I'm Bob Fishman, along with Kim Reynolds, Chris Volchek, Alan Ripa, and Kelly Randall. We'll be right back after this short break.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Young Reporters. Oh, yeah.
I was about to do that. That's great, Alan. You got the voice.
Chris was phenomenal with his, oh, yeah. I mean, that's an octave below my voice.
You're going to be one of the teachers in what we're doing because you taught Chris to do that within one segment or something.
Well, when you hear his voice, it's what we call pipes in the business. He's got pipes. And so as soon as I heard his voice, it was like, wow, when he goes on the mic, it's going to be really something. And you heard when he did the, oh, yeah, that was
Perfect.
That was movie quality.
Based on what happened, you might be his next dentist. He likes people that are cool. And you got him to be cooler, So, yeah, he might be looking at you.
That's not in his bag of tricks. He can paint a plane, and he can change a fuel, and he can orchestrate an entire orchestra, but he can't dental.
No, my dad wanted me to be a dentist.
Really?
Yeah, but I told him I don't like putting my hands in other people's mouth.
Who does? That's a real unique person. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to do that. That just didn't interest me. So it's our last segment of this double show that we did today, and it's been a phenomenal blast. I got to tell you, Kimmers and I'm sorry, Kelly.
Hello.
Oh, she's auditioning for The Voice. She's auditioning for The Voice.
Oh,
now.
no. Crystal's got that one in the bag.
Oh, yeah, Kelly.
I think I mentioned in the video that I just produced I Don't Beg Girls. So I think I mentioned that because you said that, I've got 150 followers and why do I need to beg for any girl?
I never said you had to beg for any girl. They're all following you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I
there.
thought this was a kid's show.
Yeah, can we get back to the Edson or something,
Oh, look, there's people with us. Hi.
I have a little story. Can I just tell it real quick?
Please do.
I went and got some soup one day. And,
I'm getting nervous.
and so a couple of minutes later, I called the waiter back over and I said, waiter, can you taste this soup? And he said, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with it? I said, can you taste the soup, please? And he said, what? I'll get the chef. Is there a problem? I said, please taste this soup. And he says, all right, well, where's the spoon? Aha. Where's the spoon? He didn't have a spoon.
And you just wasted 45 seconds of our airtime. Okay. So let's get back to Kim. Tell us about what's coming up with.
Well, you asked me to open the segment.
I know, I did, didn't I? So I take blame for that. I have to get my dollar. No,
Hey,
you did great.
Listen, I've been nice because 2:30 came up in the conversation before, and I didn't
Kim,
say
tell
anything.
Tell us about Invention Convention, okay? What's coming up with that? Okay?
Man, you just cut Alan right off.
We just have to maintain our discipline for the two shows because we're having a great time. But I'm serious because we want to find out what your next events are.
So
and what's coming up.
We're starting out the school year, so this is our second year with Invention Convention Arizona. So we're actively seeking adults who want to work with parents can sign up with their own kids. Leaders of youth groups can, if they want to do a club or something with kids, or if a teacher wants to do it in a classroom, or if a school district, where it's open to all Arizona K-12 youth that want to learn how to invent and want to learn about the invention process. So you can sign up at any time. You can actually reach out to us. Our email is inventionconventionarizona@asu.edu, or you can check out our website, which is inventionconventionarizona.org, and start the process of getting signed up with that. Our competition season starts after the first of the year. We'll be doing some regional events. I know for a fact we're going to have an event up in Mojave Valley. The Mojave Valley School District is partnering with us to sponsor a local competition up there. And then we always partner with Cardin of Tucson and the U of A, and we do a competition in Tucson. Those will probably be late January and in February. Then our state invention convention is actually going to be March 28th on the Tempe campus at our Memorial Union Hall. It's going to be an all-day event with the kids pitching in the morning. We're going to have some activities for them to do in the afternoon while we're going through and finalizing all of the scores and doing second looks, and then we'll do the awards ceremony in the late afternoon. We're always looking for somebody who wants to sponsor a special award. We have a bunch of different categories.
You have a ballpark of financial commitment on sponsoring something or other? Or?
We have a variety from minimal donations up to, hey, if somebody wants to talk to us about the naming rights to the Invention Convention Arizona.
You were talking about $250 million last week, right? I mean,
that's my dream for all of we have big dreams of the things that we want to do. And somebody asked me one time, well, what would a ballpark you need to be able to do everything that you're dreaming about? And I threw that number out. So
good number.
It is a good number because, like we were talking about earlier, money is not evil. It's a tool. But to do good things, you've got to have the resources available. And it's a multiple of resources. It's not just money. It's also time and talent. So the work that everybody is doing here and the connections that you make, that Kelly makes, that Alan makes, it's not just a money thing. There's so many layers to it. But so we got the Invention Convention. The other thing that we work with is we also have a collaboration with Aspiring Youth Academy, which is a nonprofit here in the Valley that focuses on decreasing poverty by doing financial literacy and entrepreneurial training for high school students. So we've collaborated with them, and we have a curriculum that is 12 missions that can be implemented in part of a school or a program. 8 around entrepreneurship. It walks the students through building a business, culminating in a pitch. Then there's 4 lessons on financial literacy. My favorite lesson in that is Adulting 101, all the things that...
Adulting 101? What does that mean?
All the things that they never told you needed to know as an adult, like how to read a contract and look for gotcha things in a contract. And that's a great thing. And then Aspiring Youth sponsors a spring entrepreneurship. So
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
And so like the next event coming up, is it October? What's the next big thing? The Invention Convention here at SkySong, is that like twice a year? Or?
No, that's only once a year.
Okay,
that's going to be in March. We do have our demo days, which is part of our Venture Devils program. That's one of the programs that we do at Edson E+I that supports our college students.
Okay.
So not just ASU students, but also Maricopa Community College students can be involved in Venture Devils.
And so I came to the one in March. I saw both the kids and the college students. And so the one in October, right?
I believe it'll be in November.
November?
I don't know.
And so is that open if we want to recruit all these great people in the community that would benefit from seeing what you guys do, and vice versa, you might benefit from them being? Is it open to anybody and everybody, or what?
Anybody can come and watch the pitches. We have multiple rooms because we have different tracks of funding. And what it is it's for our college students that have businesses. They get to pitch to a panel of judges for the potential for funding for their businesses, and they're amazing. So we have multiple tracks based on different things. Some of it's around maybe around health, some maybe around social entrepreneurship.
A mini Shark Tank.
Yeah,
almost.
it is a mini Shark. Not quite as intense or mean as Shark Tank, but it is. So demo
general
days.
Concept of pitching to some investors. That's great.
It's a beautiful thing because this is an opportunity, and we were talking about communication is something that youth struggle with today, and we even see it among the college students. And the work that our Venture Devils and our student outreach teams do with our college students here at ASU, and then partnering with the Maricopa Community Colleges, it's amazing the growth we see in the college ventures and in their communication ability and their confidence. Their confidence improves so much.
Would someone like an Alan, a Kelly be like people you're looking for, judges, or what are you looking for specifically in terms of what kinds of people are you looking for to fill different things that you need outside involvement for?
Well, for the demo days, it would mostly be like an invitation to come and view and watch the pitches. We're always looking for if people are interested in becoming mentors. You can actually apply to be a mentor with ASU. You can actually, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Our website is entrepreneurship.asu.edu, and you can jump on there and start finding out all kinds of things. So the Edson E+I, we are always looking for mentors that want to be involved in anything from the K-12 space all the way through the college space to help coach our students on a variety of different things. We're always looking for if somebody wants to, hey, I want to help fund future businesses. If you want to give to us, reach out to us, because we're always happy to help fund our students and find people who want to work with them to help get their businesses going. There's
a real quick question. We have a relatively short time left on this wonderful 2-show thing we've done today. How did ASU, I realize you're not the only thing innovation in ASU, but you're significant, as I see it, you're a significant part of the innovation and entrepreneurship thing that ASU is becoming like the top in the country for. Mm-hmm. How did that happen? How would you describe or explain how that happened, where they dominate the country now? Number one in the country for 10 years running, I guess.
Yeah, number one in innovation for the 10th year in a row, ahead of MIT and Stanford.
Yep.
It really started with the entrepreneurship and innovation. It started with some gifts from different organizations, the Edson family and Kaufman, and doing small student challenges. But then the whole idea that entrepreneurship should spread across the college.
We're going to pick this up next time we're in the studio, because I'm getting a signal about a 30. I'm not hearing the music, Ellen, but there we go. There we go. So this is part of what we want to really go in depth on in the near future, okay? We are the Young Reporters. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you to all of our guests. Alan Ripa has put his life work into this. I thank Alan so much. What a genius. Come back and join us next.
Yeah.